Buenas tardes, Benicàssim, buenos días, Ciudad de México. Estamos transmitiendo totalmente en vivo desde el Reggae University en esta 26ª edición del Rototom Sunsplash, en la cual estamos esperando el ingreso de Yemi Alade para platicar al respecto de este gran impacto que está habiendo del Afrobeat a nivel mundial. Hoy tuvimos la oportunidad de poder ver uno de los documentales que platican al respecto de esta revolución de baile que está sucediendo en África. Y en estos momentos Yemi Alade estará compartiendo cuál es la situación que se está viviendo a nivel global con este auge del Afrobeat. Son parte de las actividades del Rototom Sunsplash dentro del área del Reggae University, y estamos a punto de recibir a Yemi Alade en estos momentos. Para toda la gente de México que nos está viendo, she's coming, ella está en puerta de ingresar. Tú cultiva reggae, sembrando conciencia de tu corazón a tu razón. Blessings and respect.
As well as on the computers, at home, on the phone.
Yes, sir!
You know, welcome.
No, Yemi's in the house! Yemi's in the house! Yes, sir! Yes, sir, back there. Hello! Yemi's in the house! Yes, sir!
Yeah, we are so happy to have you. We are very, very happy. Let me quickly introduce the team. You know, it's the Lee Scratch Perry biographer, author and rhythm writer David Katz from London. Next to him is Pierre Profi, the famous radio host from Bologna. And next to me, an applause for Pierre. Next to me is Pete Lilly, and I'm Ellen Köhlings. We are both editors and since 2 issues publishers of Reina magazine.
Yes, sir!
Yeah, welcome to our session, African Body Up Close and Personal, with the Niger Afrobeat queen, Yemi Alade.
Yes, sir! Blessing!
And since this wonderful woman needs no long introduction, I keep it short and spicy. Call her King of Queens, Mama Africa, Woman of Steel, simply Empress or African Body. Her album titles describes the black magic she bestows on her listeners. Yemi Alade is not only an idol for young women on the African continent, but worldwide. This self-made woman has enriched Niger pop with an Afropolitan version of Nigerian Afrobeats by incorporating many different styles like Ghanaian highlife, Azonto, Ivorian dance music, basically dancehall, hip-hop, pop, as well as R&B. As rich as her musical oeuvre are the languages that she uses: Igbo, Yoruba, Swahili, French, English, and Portuguese. As Fader magazine wrote, this Nigerian artist bridging her continent's cultural divides by become one of the biggest stars. What Burna Boy represents on the male spectrum, Yemi Alade represents on the female one. Welcome the king and queen of Afrobeats, Yemi Alade.
Yes, sir!
We listen to Body, which is from her 6th studio album, African Body, before I start with the question. origins of Nigeria's Afro dance was screened, and it displays the extraordinary talents of dancers in Nigeria. And since you started also as a dancer that could sing, so what are your origins when it comes to dancing?
Hello everyone!
Hello! Yes, sir!
I want to say thank you for the warm welcome. I love it. I love the energy already. Well, I actually started as a musician first, and dance followed because I can't sit still. I like to move. And to be sincere, just before I go ahead and give the full answer, I'd like to introduce, I know we weren't sure, but I'd like to introduce Mr. Taya Liu. You know, when you see artists, there's always people working behind them, making everything work. He's the backbone of, you know, the brand Yemi Alade, my manager, and also CEO of FEC Music Group. So,
Yes, I.
In terms of the music, I hope I did not miss the question. You said, how did my dance start, and how did music come to join it? So I've always loved music. I started off as, you know, every other artist is, which is we started singing in our mother's tummy, right? But I've been singing all my life, and it was not until I was 18, 19 before I decided I wanted to do a career. And I love dancing, and so it just all happened.
Yeah, and in the film, you know, it was really shown that the dancers seem to turn their inner feelings into dance moves and into body movements. And, you know, watching your video dance plays, of course, a huge part also in your music, in your videos. And is there something special that you want to bring across with dancing?
Oh yes. You have said it very brilliantly already. Dance is an expression of one's feelings, oneself. The thing I always tell people when I go for a show, when they ask me, oh, what do I want to tell the audience? I say, first of all, make sure you do not wear high heels, my ladies. Come with flat shoes because the idea is to dance. To experience Mother Africa just by listening to the tunes, the play, the rhythm of the drums. And my favorite instrument is the talking drum, and tonight we will experience it.
Woo! Okay. Yeah!
And, you know, Afrobeats in general seems to lack a bit when it comes to performances, you know. You are one of the few exceptions. You know, when I watch your performances, they're just brilliant, but there are so many Afrobeats artists lacking this. Do you have an explanation why it's not so much?
I will only speak for myself, though. I don't know about others. I came to this world alone. But I would say maybe because of the people that I look up to. Growing up as a kid, I looked up to mostly people who had great stage performances. Examples are Angelique Kidjo and Beyonce. I mean, those two women, when you go to their show, you go home and you're not sure if you should fall asleep or stay awake. That is the feeling I want anyone who ever watches me to feel. I want them to remember 20 years after, almost like it happened yesterday. Unforgettable experience.
Yeah, you know, I guess everybody's waiting for tonight, you know.
I hope I'm not overhyped.
Yeah!
And Yemi, you're also an actor, so how comes acting into your performance or into your life?
Yeah, I think, you know, music I feel like music is also acting, but with melody. And so most of the time I put most of my musical videos, there's a lot of storytelling in there, and I get to act. I have done one or two proper movies in Nigeria, but aside that, I love acting, I love playing characters, because even in music, it doesn't have, when I write songs, it's not always about my experience, sometimes it could be your experience. It could just be that I was watching something happen to someone else, and I'll write about it, and that is the same thing as the movie.
And now I want Pete to play a special song, Johnny, and then we talk about it. And of course, lift it up. Behind the song, and can you share it with the lovely Rototom people?
I mean, I've been looking for Johnny for so many years. Who knows, maybe today I'll find him here, you know? She's French, she's Spanish, I don't know. But we all know Johnny is a heartbreak song. But it's a good way to get over your heartbreak, you know? You dance, you forget about everything, and you act like you're still looking for him, but you're not.
Yeah, and the song wasn't planned to come out as such and being one of the most successful songs in your career. So maybe you tell us a bit about this, the leaking part?
That is true. Johnny was a song that we did not release officially. It leaked from the studio. We had just recorded it and we left the studio, and 2 days after, the song was online. Someone had just put it online. We were upset, we were crazy, but then my life changed, you know? People started calling him from all over the world. The girl with the subject. Some people still call me Johnny Honey. But don't get it twisted, there are some female Johnnies amongst us, But yeah.
The song, like Yemi said, you know, she is of course in search of a strange lover, and maybe she finds him tonight here. And Johnny is not the only song that makes kind of people laugh, you know. So which part does humor play in your music?
Which one?
Humor.
Humor. I mean, the world is so serious. It's too serious, and I love comedy. That's why, to be sincere, that's why I like TikTok, because it's really funny over there. I get to be really silly there. And in my music, the most important ingredient for me is happiness, joy, and some humor, because what is life without some joy?
Yes, sir!
And please, can you play another song? I hope I say it right. Tumbo. Your song Tombong doesn't only talk about a woman who doesn't want to be considered a second option, but it also deals with food. And how important is food in the Nigerian culture?
I think food is, look, no food, no life, huh? and I mean, you know about the jollof wars, but I'm not into that though. I like pounded yam and the goosey soup. But in Nigeria, we have so many tribes and cultures, and so we have so many different foods. My dad is from the southern part of Nigeria, my mom is from the eastern parts. So I grew up in a household where we had different delicacies, and I enjoyed all cultures. Food is a big deal. Like, I miss the Nigerian food every day.
And Yemi, and you come from humble beginnings, and what did it take you, to move from Abia State to the stages worldwide,
That's a good question. So my dad, he's late now, he's so rest in peace, but he was a retired policeman. And you know what it means to be a policeman? They post you from one state to another, you move around. So I was born in Abia State, but I barely stayed there up to 6 years. We moved to the north, then moved to the east again, then moved to the south. So I was one of those kids that had to move from school to school. So traveling is something I'm used to. But moving from that point till now, there's such a big difference because, there's a big difference because now I'm dealing with, everywhere I go I meet new people, but I studied geography in school and I'm now practicalizing it, so it's really good. I like it.
And were your parents very supportive of you becoming an artist? Because you just mentioned it and studying geography and
my dad was very disciplined. He never allowed me even attend classes. He was like, no, you stay in the house, you read your books, no. But when I got to a certain age, he just told me that the most important thing for him was to come home with good grades. If I come home with good grades, I can go to the studio. But we didn't even need to have a conversation like, what do you want to be when you grow up? No, we never talked about it. They were just there supporting me, watching over me, trying to guide me one way or the other. But I was really blessed. I didn't have any restrictions.
That sounds beautiful. And I read a very sweet story you told about it in an interview, a very encouraging story your dad told to you. And the story deals with a bowl of beans. Maybe you can share this? I thought this was very lovely.
Yes. Okay. I'll make it short. So, my dad wasn't the kind of dad he was very serious. He was a very serious man. He hardly cracks jokes with his kids. He would sit down, stand up, go. He's a policeman, what do I expect? But there was this particular morning, he came to my room and said, Yemi, come here. I followed my dad to the parlor. And right there in the living room, he had a big cup of beans. You know what beans look like? Different kinds of beans here. And no two beans look alike. Like most times one is slightly bigger, slightly rounder, or shorter or longer. So he took the cup of beans, he asked me to look at the top. He asked me, Yemi, what do you see? I said, I can see beans. He said, no. What do you see? Describe what you see. I said, I can see different sizes of beans. Some are big, some are small. And then he said, okay. Then he said, hold on a second. Then he shook the beans. And when he showed me the cup of beans, I could see that it was only the small ones that were now at the top. And he told me, it doesn't matter what life throws at you, even if it feels like you do not have what you need to move to the next level of your life. Sometimes at the end of the day, the small ones become the biggest. And I never forgot that. I don't know why he did that, but I believe that kept me going, no matter how or where.
Thank you for sharing this story with us. And again, you are half Yoruba and half Igbo, right? Can you explain why tribe is so very strong in Nigeria, or tribe?
I cannot explain why. You see, why tribes are strong? I think it's our culture. Even though my dad is from the south of Nigeria and they speak Yoruba, every community in the south has its own dialect. So in the entire Nigeria, there's over 350 different languages in one country. Personally, I think it's too much. It's too much. One language could have been more. I'm in Spain and everybody speaks Spanish. life is easy. But then now, too many cultures. But what I love about the culture is the things that we share, the food, the clothes, the accessories. I love that part more than just the language. But yeah, language is a lot.
Yeah, and with your music, and what you do, you also bridge, these gaps between the culture. Is this something which you told yourself, I really want to be the person who does this and really put the focus on something like this?
The beautiful part about music is that music is its own language. I on my playlist, I have some songs that I don't even understand what they're saying, but I love the song. I connect. I feel the pain. I feel the joy, and that's because music is its own language, and that is the universal language that I speak. And when I start to sing songs in French or Swahili, when I started, it was just out of curiosity. I liked the language, and I wanted to sing the same way I travel to those countries, and my fans sing to me. I want to sing to them the language that they truly understand. So it started out of love, and it's all that I have to give, love.
And Yemi, what does it take as a woman to be successful in Afrobeat?
A lot. And even more. What does it take? A lot.
You have to, I think, my name is Tai, sorry.
Kai Tai!
I feel like, but I think for her, I think it's an exception. And I also feel like anything you want to be in the world, you have to be an exception. So I always tell her, the way that the world has been built is a man's world. So if you want to be ahead or even seen as an entrepreneur or as a musician and as a female, I feel that you must work 10 times as hard as a man. So if the man releases 2 singles, you release 20 singles. That's the only way that you can be seen.
I want to say something. Sorry to cut you short. So the thing with him is that he is brutally honest. He says it as it is. And that is good because for me, I feel it's important to have people around me that will always tell you the truth. I know this might be a hard pill to swallow, but it's kind of like the truth. You know, the men started before the females. Women were conditioned to be at home and take care of the family and everything. And the men went ahead. But now we are playing catch up. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because we can catch up because we have what it takes, you know? We're not trying to push the men aside or put them behind, no. We just want to take what is ours, you know? So when he says, when a guy releases 2 songs, we release 20, it is just so that we earn our spot, not that we are given. Because there's nothing worse than just being given. It means it can be taken from you, but when you earn it, it is truly yours. So I'm sorry I cut you short, but I just wanted them to know that. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
And I think, since your manager is with you, and you're still on an independent label, you're having an independent label, which is something very rare, and which I really rate because it leaves you independent, right?
I mean, being an independent artist and being an independent label is also for you to have control. You know, most times, a lot of times, in a lot of labels, they sell you a lot of propaganda. And I mean, at the end of the day, yes, we all need the funds and we need the connections, but there's nothing that you can't do yourself. And when you finally learn the business, you can now go hand in hand with the labels and work together as a team, because then you know exactly what you want to do and why you're here. A lot of times, the labels come into your life at an early stage of your career, so many times the artist doesn't really know what they stand for. But when you know what you stand for, then it's very easy to do business with anybody.
Thank you. And Yemi, you're also a strong advocate of body positivity. You know, something which, of course, women are more judged than men when it comes to their bodies. You know, men can, do whatever. They can have their big bellies and carry them around like a trophy. Sorry to say this.
Facts. Yes. I mean, look at every one of us. We're beautiful in our own individual ways. There is no two or one person here. Even when they're twins that are identical, there's still something different because we're so uniquely and differently made. I know that with Instagram, there's a certain kind of body type. I know. But then there are other people. And so we must represent those other people. And that's what I stand for, you know. Because we need to be thankful to our bodies. That's where we really live. Our bodies take care of us. That's our real house. It doesn't matter if you're in Africa or Europe or America. Your real home is your body. That's where you live. We must celebrate and love it. And especially for women that are life givers. With every kid a woman has, her body changes. This is beyond her control. Why should we live in a world where she should be shamed after giving life? No.
And then being successful in Afrobeat as an artist, I sometimes think it's not enough to be an artist as such, but you need to be probably a businesswoman, an entrepreneur. So maybe you can talk a bit about this side, because I think that is different from other genres.
Very correct. There is a talent. Sometimes in meetings, I refer to myself as Yemi Alade, but sometimes in meetings I'm talking about Yemi Alade. Because that is the brand as well. I'm just really fortunate to be working with a group of people who are willing to teach me and take me along and show me how to be a businesswoman, because that is a different part. You know, in the beginning we were talking about Afrobeat artists and how maybe a handful of Afrobeat artists are not putting up a stage craftsmanship. And I was having this conversation a few days ago with my team about how performing the way I do involves a lot of investment. I play only with a live band. Now, for you to play with a live band, you must do rehearsals. And that is expensive. You pay for the studio session, you pay the musicians for their time, and when it's time to travel, you pay for their flights, you pay for their accommodations, you feed them, and then when they're leaving, you pay them. And for instance, we're moving around with a 13-man crew. Now, we're taking care of 13 people. That is a lot of investment. I mean, it's easier to just go around with a DJ. It's easier, but because I understand the business and the investments that we are making, I will do it again and again and again. And we've done that for over 8-9 years of having a band and supporting the business. And because we understand the business to a fault, we're able to stay independent and only work with people who have the same vision as we do. And thank God that God is on our side.
Great!
Insane. You're doing really great works, you know, and I think that people really rate it. Maybe we can play another tune, a special one, Don't Jealous Me, from the Lion King, the Gift soundtrack by Beyonce.